Successfully Married with Pete and Mel. Hi guys, so I'm Pete.
And I'm Mel, and we are Successfully Married.
Yes, hi there again guys, nice to see you all. So today we're actually going to be talking about how we met and our journey towards marriage, or basically our journey up until marriage, basically. So yeah, got quite a few things in store, just sharing our personal journey, everything, all that fun stuff.
Oh yes.
And lots of fun.
Lots of fun stuff.
But hey, we're going to be talking a little bit about that today. All right, so hope everyone's doing good and everyone's nice at home or wherever you are, traveling about in your car, wherever you are, on holiday, at work, you never know. Well, bless you all anyhow.
Yes.
So let's get started. So how we met.
How did we meet?
Yeah, let's just try and get my recollection back here.
Yes.
Okay, so basically, so how we met. So basically, obviously, we're both sort of Christians, so I used to pray way before I was even thinking about getting married. I was praying for years before, just praying, God, give me a good wife, give me a wife that's a good woman, good on the inside, nice, beautiful on the outside. I used to pray that type of. Jesus was praying, making my request known.
Yes.
To the Lord is what I was doing, for at least, I don't know, it was about 5 years or a good while. I was way before I needed marriage, way before I was even thinking about marriage, I was praying basically. And so basically after these prayers, some years ago, so basically some years back now, before we got married, before I even met you, before I even met Mel, basically, while I just sort of finished college and I was about to go to university, and so at that time, what happened was I actually had a dream, and in the dream I saw myself basically, and I was in like a university, and it's almost at the university that I was at. There was a lot of clever people around, and they were basically finishing. So university was basically I was coming towards the end of university, coming towards the end of finishing off university is how I saw it in the dream, and also in the dream while that was going on. I then saw myself and I saw a lady at the bottom of some stairs, and we started walking up the stairs at the same time. We weren't holding hands or anything, but we were walking up the stairs initially. And then after we walked up some stairs, maybe about 10 stairs or the other, roughly, we then linked hands, and then we walked up lots of stairs. We walked up loads of stairs together, basically. And so I sort of took that dream as sort of God was sort of showing me that I'm going to meet a lady round about the time of me finishing off university, or I'm going to connect with a lady who's going to be my wife around about the time of university. And so that's the dream I got. And then it's obviously I carried on with university. I finished off my degree, and then I started some like a postgraduate course. And at a similar sort of time, having sort of while I was doing my university degree and that sort of stuff, towards the end of my master's degree, I actually moved church. So I moved churches. So to cut a long story short, I had some dreams, and God was showing me a church He wanted me to go to, and so I actually moved church basically, and I started going to a different church, and while I was going to that different church, after I didn't really know that many people. I used to serve in the church and stuff like that, but I knew the people obviously in my team that I was sort of helping the church out with, but I didn't know lots of people because it was a massive church. The church had like thousands of people there, so I didn't know everybody. So there was a lot of people going there. I didn't necessarily know many. I knew some, but obviously not a lot of people there. And I sort of travel. So the church that I was going to, it wasn't in my area, so it would take about just over 45 minutes to drive there each Sunday, but I knew that's where sort of God had showed me to go, so I was going to that church basically. And so after about, I'm trying to get my dates right, so after about 6 or 7 months or so, it came up to a thing called a watch night service. So if you're not so familiar with that sort of stuff, a watch night service is basically it's like the
last night, January 31st.
It's December 31st.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Did I say January?
Yeah. So it's December 31st, and it's like you sort of go you celebrate, basically. You go and sort of give God thanks for another year, and you sort of go to a church and you sort of give praise and worship and celebrate up until midnight. So you sort of may go at like 9 or 10 p.m. and you sort of give thanks and sing songs and all that sort of stuff. And what you sort of saying is, we're sort of thankful for another year and all that sort of stuff. So I went to that service. Now to cut a long story short, what happened was I was driving to church every Sunday and all that sort of stuff. But after about 6 months or so, there was a problem with my car. There's an issue with my car. So my car broke down, and it was going to take a lot to repair. So from then on, I was going to church by train. I was travelling by train every Sunday, and I wanted to go to the watch night service. So this thing that was happening on December the 31st. But the only thing about that is, in the area that I was going to the church in, all of the trains and all the public transport, it wasn't going to be taking me back to my area, so I couldn't get back to where I live. But my mum lived near the area of the church, and I knew I could get some transport back to where she lived, because those services were running. So I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to go down to the church by train, and if I can't get back home, then I'm going to go and sort of catch some transport to where my mum lives, because I knew that I could get that done. So that's basically what my thought was. So I went to the service, and then I thought, actually, you know what? There is a lady that I know that lives in my area. I knew the lady because I'd met her, I'd seen her before, and I know her, but I knew her basically. So I asked her, I said, how are you getting home? How are you getting back to where I live? How are you getting back to our area? And she's, there's this girl called Melissa, basically who ended up becoming my wife. So she said, there's a girl called Melissa. She sort of was giving me a lift. So Melissa's friend, who I was speaking to, then went and asked Melissa if, for instance, I could get a lift back on that evening. And Melissa sort of kindly enough sort of said that yes, she'd be happy to give me a lift. So I went in the car with Mel and her friend and also her mum. So we all went in the car together, basically, back home. So I got a lift, and obviously got acquainted, or got to know who Melissa was. And the rest is history. No, I'm playing. Yeah. No, so after, so that was sometime during the week. I can't remember, that was midweek, I think. I can't remember if that was a Wednesday or Thursday, whatever. And then I was thinking, Sunday, you know what? Okay, so I got a lift. So I was thinking, right, I know my car's going to take a while to get fixed, because I was having to save up money to get it fixed, and it was going to take some months to get done, to save up the money and then get it fixed and stuff like that. So while I was getting it fixed, I was thinking, all right, you know what? I'm going to ask if I could sort of come down, at least let me ask if I can come down on a Sunday, then come down this Sunday. And so I offered to sort of give him some money, so I'll pay a little bit towards the fare. So I said, can I do that? And I sort of paid some money to help them out with the fare down. And so we were doing that every Sunday. So I was going down with Melissa, going down with her mum. Most of the time it was just me, Melissa, and her mum, but was going down to the service every Sunday, and I'd help, and I'd be friendly, and I'd contribute. But friendly, yeah, just friendly, because what it was, I didn't want to give any. I didn't want to sort of, what would you say? I wouldn't want to give any wrong impressions, because obviously I valued my wife, who then became my wife. I valued her as like a church sister, and I didn't want to muck anybody about, because with the church, so muck about, mess about God's people. So I didn't want to muck about and say, oh yeah, I want to be, I'm into you, and then I'm not into you, and all that sort of stuff. So I didn't really give any impressions of that sort of stuff, because I kind of wanted to be. Just wanted to be respectful, and not mess her about. If I didn't know, I didn't know. If I knew about something, I was sort of waiting on the Lord. If I was going to make a move or talk in any over friendly capacity, then I was kind of going to let God speak to me in either a dream or some form of way God would reveal to me. And so, because I didn't get anything initially, I was just friendly, and just going to church and sort of waiting for my car to get fixed was the initial thing. So that's the initial thing till as we began to travel in the car.
Yeah, the car. Right. So
traveling in the car. You refresh me.
Well, I'm going to go back just a little bit back to the bit where my best friend came over and asked and said, there's somebody that needs a lift home. And like I said, it was December 31st.
It was,
correct?
it was.
And it was late, and I was told that the person didn't have any way of getting home. So obviously I am not a type of person, especially as a church sister, I'm not going to leave anybody stranded.
Oh, bless you.
So that's why I was like, yeah, if there's a person that needs a lift home, not a problem. So that's how my dear husband, but back then just an acquaintance, came home came to our hometown. And then in the car, the car, I think it was, like I said,
It was 7 months, wasn't it?
It was 7 months, but it wasn't anything dramatic. Should I say, because I was just helping a brother out. We all go to the same church, like carpooling. And that's what it is, isn't it? If everybody's going to the same destination, it just kind
Just
of
helping the brother out, were you?
Just helping
you
a
sure
brother
about
out,
that?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I was not, just me in my frame of mind during that time, I wasn't looking...
Really?
I really wasn't looking for any relationships at that time, for various reasons that I'm not going to go into. But yeah, I just wasn't. I was just focusing.
Right now,
not
baby,
right now. Not right now. So I was literally just focused on God and serving God, and that was my heart. But my mum and my best friend had other ideas, and all that time, that we were travelling in the car, they were constantly saying, "Oh, he's such a nice brother. He's so respectful." They were always used to say, if he ever approached you and said that he wanted anything more, they were like, we think that you should be open to it, is what they were trying to say. But because I was like, no, I'm just focusing on the Lord. I'm just focusing on God. That's my main focus. Yeah, I don't want to think about anything else. But like I said, my mum and my best friend had other ideas. So there was a good period of time, like you said, about, is it 7 months?
Yeah, it's a good while.
Travelling together.
We took travelling together for a good while.
We became friends, I'd say.
Yeah, we were friendly.
And we were friendly.
We were friendly.
Not tight friends, I would say, but we just, we were conscious on my side as well of keeping it respectful. And so we didn't think anything. We were just brother and sister in Christ.
Having said that, one of my friends was like, my best friend at the time, he was still my best friend.
Yes.
So he was sort of saying, so I think he met Mel, and he was like, Peter, you live in the same area. I mean, she's a good-looking woman. Come on. And I was like, well, I'm not sure. I want to make sure. I don't want to mock anybody, but I want to make sure that God shows me before I make a move. That's what I was sort of saying at the time.
Yes.
So yeah, that was.
Yeah. So we were, like I said...
That was the car. Anything else you remember about the car?
There was a time, I think closer to the time when we did get together, when I noticed something in the spirit. I wouldn't say this was even anything on Peter or me, but there was something... I'm going to use this word, and it's not a disrespectful word.
In the spirit? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, but it's like a strange kind of feeling, is the only way I could describe it. And it felt like kind of like a pull, like there was something... between us, but it's not something that I had, consciously thought of.
Is that when you started becoming more friendly, Mel?
It's more that I was thinking, okay, maybe there is something, and there could be something, but I wasn't like jumping, because obviously the thing that Peter and I were most conscious of, like I said, was being respectful. We're church brother and sister. Right. But there was something that began to shift, I'd say, after about 6-7 months. There was like a spiritual dynamic, or there's some kind of sense between us that it was maybe a little bit more than just friendship.